Hey, good morning, everyone. We are 20 days from my last time change that I'll have to go through. Yay, I hate the time change. In fact, I have a white clock that I actually have calibrated to my sundial, so I use the natural time for eating, sleeping, waking up, that kind of thing. So I wake up at sunrise every morning, and I try to hit the rack a little after the sun goes down. When I'm done with stuff. I mean, we'll normally teach till maybe 8 o'clock, and it'll be dark by then, and then I'll get ready. Pretty much I'm in bed by 9. So these days I get about 9.5, 10 hours of sleep, which is really good. It feels great. And the time change going back, so it's spring forward, fall back. The falling back part doesn't impact people as much. As a matter of fact, they're like, oh, I feel so rested because you actually got an extra hour of sleep, especially on that Sunday, which is kind of nice. For me, it's going to be inconsequential. It was inconsequential when it hit in April. See, here in Mexico, we do April and October still, where I guess the U.S. changed to March and November. I think it's a week later. And from what I understand, it was Big Food that actually lobbied to keep this thing going, because if the sun goes down later, people tend to eat later. All right, so it's not healthy. It really isn't. It has nothing to do with electricity. Mexico's electricity, the CFE, the Comisión Federal de Electricidad, is federal. So they did a test. They actually ran studies and found out there's no savings in electricity, at least not where the Mexican Republic is concerned. Where even up in the northernmost part, Tijuana, in Baja California, the sun will rise and set at the same time as San Diego. And in the south, I believe Chiapas is the farthest south, the most southern state, either that or Oaxaca, I can't remember which. And they're below 20, so they're definitely in the tropics. So they'll get about 13 hours of daylight for the summer and only 11 hours for the winter. So we hover around 12 hours a day, give or take an hour, quite literally. And that's kind of where we are here. I'm at 21 degrees, so I'm 2 degrees south of the Tropic of Cancer. And it's wonderful because most of the year I get a lot of sun, so I get a lot of vitamin D and all that. But when you spring forward, you lose the hour. Chubby Emu is a doctor, and he did a video on this. He said, man sets clock for daylight savings time, and this is what happened to his heart. So it will impact you. My advice to you who are still on this time thing for the upcoming March cycle, about a month ahead, daily, start backing your wake-up time, all right? Back it up 2 minutes every day for 30 days. That will totally ease your body into the change. Now, in some states' defense, like Arizona, minus, I believe, part of the Hopi Nation or something, they also stay in Mountain Standard Time. And I always hated it when I heard when I heard people say, well, we're in California time now. No, sorry. California is in Arizona time. Now, if you'd like to say that Arizona has the same time zone right now as California or vice versa, you can get away with it, but don't say in. Okay, that makes sense. Arizona did not go into California time. California shifted into what we call Mountain Standard Time, or in their case, Pacific Daylight Time. So again, I've been an expert in sundials for years. I mean, more than a score. I can build them anywhere on Earth. I can do whatever I want with them. Wahoo. And the bottom line of that all is that that one leading forward, you lose your hour and your body will respond. I mean, if you think of an hour, that's 4% of your day. Did I get that right? 25 hours, 1 hour out of 25. Yeah, 4%. I mean, you're totally messing your body up by 4%. That's kind of significant for your body. And again, the fall back part isn't as bad because you gain an hour. So I'm going to see how this one works with me, though, because I believe the last time we went into our standard time, I'm on Central Standard, unfortunately. Well, daylight right now, but in 20 days I'll be in Central Standard. I really should be the eastern, just to the eastern side of the Mountain Standard Time, which would be much easier for me because I'm still an hour ahead, even when we're in quote-unquote standard time. The sun is anywhere between half an hour to an hour ahead of time at all times, and then it jumps a little forward briefly. So it is what it is. That's why I set up my little white clock. So humans have a real weird way of being able to double think, if you will. So I use my standard time for classes and routine things that I have to do in the world, and then I use my white clock time, which I look at constantly to know kind of where I am during the day. And I have no problems switching back and forth. Most people won't if you're used to it. Let's say you work in California, but you have to keep track of what's going on in New York. You're quick with those 3 hours. You don't even think about it. You just kind of know. You get used to it very quickly. So yay, I'm going to see how this impacts me and the return, because I will essentially be losing an hour, because right now the sun is rising about 7:45, and suddenly it's going to be rising about 6:45. So as I wake up on its sunrise, a point in time celestially, I'm going to have the standard time back up. So essentially I'm springing forward. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. All I do is just rotate my clocks. I don't care. And I try to do that as quickly as possible. Like on Thursday or Friday, I will have already allowed the clocks to fall back and get me used to that time, so I kind of know when I'm going to sleep. So by the time Monday rolls around, I'll already be 3 and 4 days into the new time zone. And then I just kind of, in my brain, I just calculate, okay, the classes are actually going to be coming an hour earlier, right? So if they're supposed to be here at 9, they'll be here at 8, kind of thing. So anyway, let's see how that rolls. Circadian rhythm is extremely important in your body's health, and you really should ask your state to get rid of the darn thing. But I think a lot of people like it. My daughter is actually kind of irritated by it. I think 2 of them, my youngest and my second, they're like, I wish we would change forward and stay forward. When actually I like the early morning, but apparently they're owls. University kids, they haven't a clue. They don't have families, they don't have a roof, they don't have a job, technically. I mean, when that all hits, I found that 20-somethings change radically by 30-something. And then by 40-something, they don't know anything anymore, but they kind of miss their parents, because if their parents are the standard 89% of those who have Syndrome X and will die in their 60s, they don't get them anymore. Thankfully, Isabel and I are not in that 89% of those Syndrome X people. We're in the ozone, the ether of the 11% who are completely as healthy as we can possibly be for our age. Yay. We're in our now mid to late 50s. We are not on any medicines. We are in no pain. We have no inflammation. We sleep like babies. Life is good. Wahoo. You want to be that way? You can. See my other videos, and you can go ahead and check out how we did that. So happy Monday to you guys. 20 days and counting, at least in Mexico here, until we get rid of this ridiculous time change once and for all. Adios.